Everyone wants to become a travel nurse. Hey, we get to see Utah. We go to California because they make more money. And then we hit up on Chicago. I love to go international. Anybody want to hire me? I'll go Switzerland or anywhere. And then there is New York, working in New York. What's the song say? Frank Sinatra? Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be part of it. New York, New York. These nursing shoes are longing to go right through the very heart of it. New York, New York. Cut. Is travel nursing worth it still in 2023 and we getting ready to go to 2024? Stay tuned. Oh my God, I don't believe it. I just butcher Frank Sinatra song. So please forgive me. Don't be so hard. I just a little fun. Just having a little fun. Welcome back. Did you have a nice Thanksgiving? Now you did all the Black Fridays. You waste all your money. And now you're thinking, really though? The holidays are coming. So it's good to see you. Yeah, I'm in a good spirit. And I was thinking about, what's it like because someone asked me a couple of times, what's it like being a travel nurse? And they would like to become a travel nurse, but they have some fears. And I was thinking, is it traveling assignment? Is it a good thing now? What's going on? Inflation and everything. You know why I say that? Because I have been home for a while, yes. And that's why I got that New York fever, going crazy. What they call it, cabin fever. You want to go? I don't want to go out because if I go out, I'm going to spend. Or I just get bored because I'm that sign that, needs to travel, need to see new places. Anyway, so a couple of assignments came my way and I look at it and some were good, but not good enough for me. And I thought about, when you're new to traveling and you want to become seasoned travel nurse, you have to look at things like, what is it? The main reason why I want to go on this assignment. I've never been to Utah. I would like to see it. I've never been to an assignment in Colorado. I would like to explore Colorado. So those are the things that I look at. And I'm trying to tell you, giving you a little tip to make up your mind. Before we get to the contracts, the housing, and everything else, you want to pick an assignment that you're going to be comfortable with. I know a lot of people might say this might offend a lot of people or a lot of nurses or whoever is watching, but not many people travel outside of their state sometime. And when I first got to Georgia, I met a lot of not only nurses, they'll never fly on a plane before. They said they get nervous. So expect, if you want to get anywhere, some people have RV, some people drive their car. I know someone that usually drive to the assignment because she has the dog. So yes, you can bring your family. There are nurses that bring the whole family, the husband and the kids, and what they do is enroll them. And I don't know anything about that. Enroll them in the school where they are located, because they take these long assignments, longer than 13 weeks. I personally, I won't tell you how I do it until in the end. So if you've never flown on a plane or fly on a plane or on a jet plane, whatever, if you never did it, you never set foot on a plane, you may get a little nervous, little jittery. Unless you prefer to drive, it's okay. But give yourself leeway. It's a long, I can't imagine doing that unless I have another driver with me. Depends on where you're going. So, like any other job, the first day of the job is get very confusing. You have to go to these, doing orientation and everything. You might be in an auditorium with a lot of people. Just try to get to know the person that's going to be on your unit. And sometimes you might meet them at the airport. I met a lot of nurses, first time flying, first time to their assignment, first travel assignment. And I could tell, they kind of could tell that I was a nurse and I wasn't even in a uniform. We just have that thing, magic together. We know who's a nurse. That confident, I guess. So, like any other assignment, you go in, you get your assignment, they give you orientation in together, maybe orientation on the computer system, orientation on the paperwork that they use, because some facility still in paper, especially in the psych wards. And then you may get a couple days on the unit shadowing another nurse, but it might be longer, but don't expect it to be 5 days or 2 weeks. You got to be ready to go, fill in the slot. They don't want to see you on orientation for a long time. So, on that being said, in order to become a travel nurse, if you just got out of school, I want to say, then I would suggest you get in a job, and for a year, some people do 6 months, but most of the established staffing company, they rather you have like a year of med surg, a year in what they want you to have at least a year in whatever clinical skills that you decide to work in. If it's mother baby, you're in good luck because you're gonna make money. NICU, ER, OR, and all those skills. Psych too, and med surg. There is a lot of people going for med surg. I'm telling you that up now. They can find med surg nurse. There's no shortage of med surg nurses. The specialty that they have conflict or they have difficulty finding these nurses is really mother baby, labor and delivery, and sometimes ER. ER is more, depends, but it fills up fast. So I guess they have enough. ICU, those are the big ticket ones, and they try to find nurses to fill that up before they get to the psych and the med surg. They know they can find a psych nurse. They know they can find a medical surgical nurse, a tele nurse. So whatever you did for a year, maybe you didn't get a job when you just got out of school. You didn't get a job in the hospital right away. Take a job in nursing home. Utilize all your critical skill. And then what you do on your resume, it's a nursing home, but that nursing home has a rehab. So that you can work on a rehab unit in the hospital. That's your skills right there. It's the way you word your resume. I worked as an LPN in a rehab unit. The rehab unit in Philadelphia had IVs, bloods, and everything. So I had the hospital skills. You could say you work in correction. For psych, they have psych unit in corrections. They have the forensic. You have intake. In intake, you're actually assessing the patient. So rewrite your resume to reflect that. And you speak up. Even though I was in the nursing home, I was on the rehab unit. They had patient short stay that came in with hip fractures, and that's what they do in the hospital. So after that got me a job when I became an RN in the hospital on the rehab unit. Just from working in the nursing home. I think the nursing homes in Philadelphia is way advanced compared to the ones I've been to in Georgia. The ones in Georgia, they just give them a lot of meds. They still have rehab. I think they put it like select specialty. When I was an LP and I worked there too, that's another one. That's more advanced. You work with trachs and you had a vent, you have critical skills right there. So don't fear that you won't get a traveling assignment. You can even, and I've seen it. I was looking through Indeed and a couple agencies call me and they have travel assignment for nursing home. They have travel assignment for rehab facility, not rehab in the hospital, rehab facilities. And they have correction. So if you want to get your foot in the door, when you're so comfortable that you say, oh, I'm so tired, I'm bored with this job, I've been here like 6 months. Don't run away yet. Try to get in PRN with the job that you're going to leave. So many times, and I'm guilty of that, I don't think like that, and then I'm sitting home waiting for the next gig. That's what it is. So anyway, so you can go local. Try a travel assignment local. That means you still can get home, drive your car, and you're still home. They might give you a stipend, but you can talk them into, since I'm local, can I just get my hourly rate? Because they want to break it up, blend this and blend that, give me $20. Mm-mm. So I think a local assignment, and you take it they're going to allocate for 13 weeks. That's preparing you for the most of the contracts that are out there, 13 weeks. And if you like it, you could take it a step further. Go to another state. See how the dynamic with the staff, take in everything, because you're preparing yourself. Because when you get to California, when you get to those big states, you're going to deal with a lot of personality, and how you deal with it becomes successful. Each time, each mistakes that you make, don't knock yourself down. Give yourself credit. Every day when you go to your hotel, I made it. I did good. They were getting on my nerve, those staff, and keep going. And that's what you need to do. Don't put fear in the picture, because if you put fear, you won't. And on your day off, if you have some of the nurses, they don't want to explore, you explore this place by yourself. Sometimes it's best to be by yourself. But if you have a family, you could, you have 4 days off. Hopefully you get your assignment together, your 3 days, and you have 4 days off, and you can explore the city. You're going to be there 13 weeks. You got to know where the store is and everything. Before you know it, you're part of the environment. So enjoy that. So I would suggest do it local. But the reason why I wanted to come out here and make this video, and I was thinking that, is it beneficial being a seasoned travel nurse? I want it to be local. And I've said this several times. You may have heard it. And then I would take an assignment, and I don't understand why. I take an assignment, and then it doesn't live up to what I expected. I'm saying, oh, I'm going to stay here forever. I'm going to stay at this job locally in Georgia. But they're not on the same page as me, or maybe I'm too much for them, or it's just not. I just can't stay still. So I'm different. Anyway, so I was thinking, because a lot of agency been calling me from Thanksgiving, say, when are you going to go? Do you want to go here? Do you want to go? I said, okay, send it to me, so I could look at it. Do I want to travel? And depends on when I was looking at all the travel assignment that they were sending me from different companies, and now I'm seeing like 17 weeks assignment, 24 weeks, 6 months. And I'm asking them, would you like to be away from home? God, that long? Somebody gonna move into your house. I'm sorry. But this one agency said he wanted me to do like 24 weeks. But in the contract, it says, no, like you might want to come back home, like take 2 weeks off. No, that's a no. So then I start asking, all these contracts came to me. They look good. I saw one in New Mexico, and I wanted to go to New Mexico because I've never been there. It was a short one. This one was right on point. 4 weeks. The money was decent. That's what it looked like until he started breaking it down. And I said, well, hold up. Do I have housing? He said, no housing and no flight. So I would have to find a housing and find my airfare there. So what sense is that to me to get in a hotel for 4 weeks, and the money is the most of the money will go to transportation and for me to sleep. Some people use it to the benefit and take the worst hotel in the neighborhood. That's not me. I'm not going to go in a motel, or not that. I want to feel safe. And since I don't know the area, I rely on the agency to find the housing or give me, I know they said they give you a stipend, but I don't think the stipend enough to pay for the housing. So what I've been finding out now is that a lot of travel agency is not paying for housing. I think one I see that free housing, it was American Mobile. Thank you. I work for them too. They're pretty decent with their rates, I would say. And I've seen, I'm not sure if they do the blend rate. Don't quote me on that one. But they give you free housing. So what I wanted you to know that's a deal breaker for me. So I was thinking, because in the pandemic, everything was, we got spoiled. Let's be frank. We got spoiled. And now everything just down in the dumps. So all the nurses are going this way. Some are starting business. Some are doing their own little thing. Traveling is the last thing on their mind. But if it's a short assignment, I will go. If it's short enough that I can drive and come back home, I don't mind that. They don't have to worry. But for me to travel all the way to California, travel to New Mexico, travel to Philadelphia. Philadelphia is okay because I have family, so I have a house I can sleep in. I don't have to pay for that if I go into Pennsylvania. But what about those people that don't? I guess what I'm trying to say, you make sure you have all that in place before you said yes. And look at your contract, print out your contract, reread your contract 1, 2, 3 times, and make sure everything is in there that you need. If you need to have 2 weeks because you're already scheduled, you're going to Africa, you're going to England, or you're going somewhere, you're going on vacation, you make sure that is stipulation is in the contract based on these 2 weeks. I won't be there. I want it off. So when you get to the facility, you have your contract with you in your hand to let them know. You let the facility, if they agree. If they agree that you can go, let them put it in the contract. Let the agency put it in the contract, because the agency is going to come back and say, no, they didn't tell you that. Your rates. If you agree on that rates, I like them. They like to tell me that I'm getting paid $2,000, and this is just an example. I'm getting $2,500 a week, and I'm asking them, how did you determine that? What if I do, because the blend rate, they make it seems like you're getting that. Making $55 an hour, $65 an hour. But when they break it down, you actually, with the blend rate, you actually getting paid $20 or $28 an hour, and they're including the stipend for the house and everything that's included come up to $55 or $65 an hour. I told them I don't want to see it like that. I'll just give me the hourly. Why can't they just give me $65 an hour? But they don't do it that way. So I've been not thinking about travel yet. Is in travel nursing is you're going to be working sometime in toxic environment. And if you're used to it in your local, you're the type of person can block it out. I want you to block it out. You remain positive. That's why I said on your day off, explore the city. Go to a nice restaurant. Take pictures. Enjoy yourself. Because when you get back to work, you're going to deal with people. And number one thing to remember, if you don't want it started, do not tell anyone in that building what your salary is. Even though, like if you're in California, you will find that the LPN and all those are making more than you. Still don't divulge your salary to anyone. Don't tell them. I try not to tell them I'm at the Marriott. They probably assume that you're in a better hotel. They're going to assume that you're making more money than them. But the reality is they making more money than you. I'm talking about California. Don't tell anybody about your salary. Don't discuss it. There were going to be somebody that's going to leak it. And it's going to cause a lot of chaos. It's going to cause the nurses to come at you in some subtle ways. And if you ever work in a toxic, I have to tell you this, I can't sugarcoat it. That's part of being a travel nurse. you're going to get the worst assignment. I can't tell you that you're going to get the best. It depends on who you are. I think it's who you are. If you're the type of person like when I was in Texas, there was this one African nurse, and she would buy food for all the staff, and all she did was sit at the desk and twinkle, twinkle, and talk, and oh, you want some? I'm going to go into Starbucks. I'm ordering from Starbucks. Who want this? And I find that's the way it's their culture, and they get over with that. No shame or anything, but they know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. So I get the flack all the time. But I'm usually calm and tolerate the abuse because and you need to know this, because you're on a mission. You know why you're here. You know what you need to get. Some people take an assignment because they need to save up for a house. They need to buy a car. Whatever your goal is, you just tolerate it. 13 weeks. Get a big calendar. Stick it in somewhere in the hotel. And every day, like I do, exit. Oh, one more day. I'm going to be home. This 13 weeks. You may never, ever have to go back. You never, ever have to go back. Take that same assignment again. Go to another one. You may come upon one that's so good. The people are nice. The nurses are supportive. It's not going to always be negative, but the majority are toxic. Especially if it's all females. And that's the reality. I can't tell you any different, because that's how it is. Sometimes you might be the only agency nurse is suffering. Just do what you have to do. You know your skills. They can't take that away from you. Don't let nobody take it away from you. And I find that I just learned this. I've just been looking into this. Narcissistic people, they're around you. But what I'm saying, the toxic environment that you're surrounded with, it doesn't have to infiltrate your happiness, your joy. Say good morning and laugh and smile, even when they don't. Don't let it affect you. That's what I want to end this with. Be positive. You will find a lot of negative in being a travel nurse, because you're there. You will work every holiday. Mm-hmm. Somewhere along the way, you will say, wait a minute, every assignment, they always want to give me the holiday. And most of the assignment that comes along, like 17 weeks. You're not going to be home for Christmas. You're not going to be home for New Year's. You'll be back maybe February or March or April. Who wants that? Sometimes we want to be home too. So try not to you might have to look at this song. Oh no, I want to be home for Christmas. And if you have kids, many times I try to talk them out. I got to go. And I feel sorry now that I didn't spend enough holiday with them. But now I make it a priority. Thanksgiving, hopefully Christmas, and New Year's with my family. I try to do that. But for you starting out, you will see the pattern. You will see they say you work every other weekend, but somehow, or they have a weekend program, but somehow you end up doing every weekend based on the assignment they give you. And you may want a day off, and they ask you to give them a schedule, and whatever schedule you give, you won't get it, but you have to work it. You can't, call out and stuff like that. And maybe the schedule person have an issue with your schedule or issue with you. You may walk in and people don't like you for just who you are. That's the bottom line. Just be firm and do your job and smile and take it until the end. Have a wonderful day or night in your state